Good day, everyone. This is Dr. Hsin Chih Lai from REVIVEBIO company. Today, I would like to show you some information about extracellular vesicles, EVs, and the exosomes. EVs, or extracellular vesicles, they are regarded as the extracellular vesicles that are produced by almost any kinds of different animal cells, plant cells, as well as the bacterial cells. The animals and the plants produced different kinds of the extracellular vesicles. For animal cells, they produced large oncosomes, which are related to the oncogenesis of the tumor cells. Some of them produce apoptotic bodies, which are related to cell death. They also produce microsomes, which are related to cell migration as well as communication. They produce exospheres, and the exospheres are a kind of EV released by budding out of cells into the extracellular space. And then they produce ectosomes. Ectosomes are vesicles that shed out from the plasma membrane of the cells. And it is the exosomes whose physical diameter range is about between 30 to 150 nanometer that shows beneficial effect to our animal cells. And for bacterial extracellular vesicles, their physical size are similar to the exosomes produced from animals and plants. Therefore, for the EVs produced by bacteria, they are straightforwardly named as bacterial EVs. And for the extracellular vesicles produced by animals and plants, the only exosomes are selectively named. The probiotic bacteria produce and secrete extracellular vesicles with a size similar to the animal's exosome. As shown here in this slide, these are the bacteria, and you can see the small bubble-like structure. And they are the vesicle, or they are the extracellular vesicles, or EVs. Their relationship is just like the parents and their children, or mother and daughter. The bacterial EVs contain many important components. As shown in my left-hand side, these are the structure of the bacterial EVs derived from gram-negative bacteria. In my right-hand side, these are the bacterial EV derived from gram-positive bacterial cells. They both contain important nucleic acids, such as miRNAs, etc. They contain important lipids, such as ceramides, etc. They also contain important signaling molecules, the proteins, the peptides, and the extracellular enzymes. They contain metabolites, such as the well-established short-chain fatty acids. And on top of these, they also contain cell wall-derived active substances, or AS. And these are unique to the bacterial-derived EVs, in contrast to those derived from the animal and plant cells. There are many applications from the bacterial EVs. Once produced, the bacterial EVs enter the host systematic circulation, and perform cell-to-cell or organ-to-organ communication. There are multiple applications for the bacterial EVs. For example, they can be used in cosmetics bioindustry for skincare. On top of this, they can also be used in many other purposes, such as the drugs, the enzymes, the tools for delivery, the vaccines, the adjuvants, working as anti-pathogen agents, as well as cancer immunotherapy agents. Therefore, during the development of the bacterial EVs, the safety, efficacy, and the GMP mass production are very important. Let me do some comparison among the probiotics EVs as well as the human and plant exosomes. The human exosomes are restricted in the EU by the EC 1223/2009 regulations. This is because they have potential risks. They showed ethical controversy, and they show low batch consistency and have relatively high cost during large-scale production. For plant exosomes, they may suffer from pesticide residues, and they show a relatively low efficacy, and they have batch consistency challenge. And for both human and plant exosomes, the main functional components are still not clearly defined. For probiotics EVs, they are naturally symbiotic. They showed high safety and eco-friendly with skin microbiota. There is no ethical issue. And they are characterized by batch consistency, stability, and scalability. And the main functional components of some specific probiotic strains are being intensively characterized. For example, the active substance from the bacterial peptidoglycans are being developed. In the near future, there's opportunities that these AS can be further developed as a functional compounds. And this is how they look like for PGEVs or the Parabacteroides goldsteinii RV01 strain extracellular vesicles under transmission electron microscopy image. And these are the parent strain. And the small bubble-like structure, they are the EVs produced by the parent strain. Their association just looks like the parents and the children, or mother and daughter. The preparation of PGEV is under stringent control. After fermentation in the GMP facility, their supernatants were harvested, and many cutting-edge purification and concentration technology platforms were used. These are followed by physical, chemical, and biological characterizations to make sure that the PGEV produced are under the highest quality control process. And these are the size distribution of the PGEV produced from a total of 8 different batches. As you can see, that their physical diameter are consistent among the different batches. The functions of the PGEV were summarized as shown here in this slide. PGEVs can reduce inflammation, reduce UV stress, and reduce protein misfoldings. At the same time, PGEV enhance immunity, enhance antioxidative stress. They increase the mitochondrial and ribosomal activities. They enhance TCA cycle metabolites production. And finally, they enhance the production of beneficial secondary bile acids, the TUDCA. For future development of the bacterial EV, in REVIVEBIO, we aim to select the EVs with best safety, quality, and efficacy for skincare. And we aim to identify the main functional components of the probiotics bacteria. At the same time, we will clarify the mechanism of action, or MOA, of these components. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you.